Among the opportunities that smart cities offer, creating new systems that ensure food security, especially for urban center, is among the highest priorities. The City of Guelph's Growing Forward program was the second prize winner of the Infrastructure Canada Smart City Challenge. With us today is the manager of the Smart City Initiative for the City of Guelph, Cathy Kennedy. Welcome, Cathy.
Thank you. I am so honored to be here, and it's so great to follow Natalie and to be able to share some of the stories and answer some of the questions that she had from our perspective. So perfect lineup of speakers for your audience. This is wonderful.
Thank you, Cathy, and the stage is yours.
Thank you. Imagine a food system where there's no such thing as waste, and where every resident has access to the healthy, nutritious food they need. Imagine a living lab that promotes collaboration between entrepreneurs, farmers, researchers, and social innovators, and a rural-urban partnership that leverages smart technology to make it all possible. Imagine no longer. Hi, everyone. My name is Cathy Kennedy, manager of the Smart Cities office at the City of Guelph. I'm excited to be here today to tell you about the Our Food Future initiative, our vision to create Canada's first technology-enabled circular food economy. As Natalie talked to you a little bit about in the previous speaker series, in November 2017, Infrastructure Canada launched its Smart Cities Challenge to encourage communities to adopt a Smart Cities approach to improve the lives of residents through new partnerships, innovations, data, and connected technology. This challenge ignited the imaginations of 130 municipalities across the country. Each application had a wealth of smart cities inspired ideas and reflected unique collaborations between residents, businesses, and public sector partners. Wellington's proposal was not a conventional smart city project focused on smart streetlights, transportation systems, or smart buildings. As Natalie identified, ours was one of those that focused on something completely different, on how our community could come together to create a living lab of possibilities using social innovation, data, and technology towards a common vision. In the end, we were one of 4 winners and the recipient of $10 million to realize our vision, reimagining what an inclusive, circular, food-secure ecosystem could be. Working with our collaborators and experts throughout Guelph, Wellington, we knew our smart city proposal would focus on the food system. For anyone not familiar with Guelph, Wellington, we're well positioned at the heart of the Toronto to Waterloo Innovation Corridor. Guelph is a mid-sized city surrounded by Wellington County, a peri-urban rural community and farmland. The county itself is made up of 7 member municipalities. We're a community dedicated to agriculture, food, and sustainability innovation. We have close to 400,000 acres of agricultural land and over 2,500 farms. We host 10 farmers markets, commercial test kitchens, and an award-winning local food program made up of more than 150 local farms, retailers, restaurants, wholesalers, and other partners. We are home to 1,600 food businesses and entrepreneurs, more than 40 agricultural-related research centers, and support more than 1,350 businesses in advanced manufacturing, information and communication technology, and clean tech combined. We welcome students to the University of Guelph, Canada's top agricultural and food university, and a world-renowned center of research and innovation in agriculture, agri-tech, and food, as well as Conestoga College, a Canadian leader in polytechnic education with specific strengths in food processing technology. Many provincial agricultural and food organizations call Guelph Wellington home, and we have a vibrant and engaged local food community. In other words, we know food and food systems. Vision, innovation, and experimentation are the very fabric of our root system. Our colleagues at the Institute for the Future say if we rethink food, we remake the world, and we need to. Currently, 8 million people around the world are hungry or undernourished. Meanwhile, we throw away roughly 1/3 of our food before it makes it to our plates. We believe something better is possible, When our community is at the center, when people are included and given space to flourish, innovation can happen. This is a systems level change we're talking about. It's going to take all of us working together towards a common goal to make a circular food economy a reality. In January 2020, we officially launched our food future. A few short months later, COVID drastically changed our landscape. It would challenge us to be agile and innovative in how we met our community's complex and evolving needs. The pandemic highlighted and exacerbated many of the system level challenges that our food future aimed to resolve, from food insecurity for vulnerable residents to supply demand issues and more. But our initiative wasn't going to provide the support our essential workers, vulnerable populations, and businesses needed today. So, in the midst of this unprecedented public health crisis, we pivoted. We redirected our attention to addressing food insecurity and economic instability head on and in the moment. We created Grow Back Better, a 10-point recovery plan in response to COVID-19. Grow Back Better is allowing us to provide direct and immediate support to Guelph Wellington's food system and our many collaborators as they shift from crisis response to recovery. Our plan focuses on 18 months of work from 2020 through to October 2021. With Grow Back Better, elements of our original Our Food Future proposal were reprioritized or restructured to respond to the evolving landscape. By creating a sustainable and resilient food system that improves lives today, we're laying the foundation for an inclusive green recovery from this current crisis and better positioning the community to respond to future emergencies tomorrow. Grow Back Better is leveraging $1.6 million in funding from the Infrastructure Canada Smart Cities Challenge to address three core priorities: increasing access to affordable, nutritious food, supporting new and existing food businesses, and taking actions to strengthen regional food system resiliency. In the months since implementing Grow Back Better, we've distributed more than 700 children's gardening kits to families in Guelph and Wellington. This program proved extremely popular. All kits were claimed within 2 hours of registration. At the same time, The Seed, a local community social enterprise, launched the Emergency Food Home Delivery Program. The organization rapidly shifted its programs to give those most impacted by COVID-19 immediate access to nutritious food. By leveraging technology, transforming their supply systems, and mobilizing a community of cooks and delivery options, The Seed has delivered over 29,000 food boxes to over 2,600 participants. In addition to supporting the Emergency Food Home Delivery Program, we launched the Online Harvest Impact Community Donation Platform. This portal aims to raise over $100,000 in cash donations, and our food future will match contributions up to $90,000. Since the launch, the platform has raised over $40,000. In partnership with a community collaborator, the Urban Agriculture Challenge grant program will award $102,000 to implement ideas and projects that will support circular economic recovery and accelerate food production, getting more food to the table with less environmental impact. I think we're a couple slides. One more slide, please. Thank you. In July, $5,000 grants were awarded to 40 new and existing businesses through Seeding Our Food Future micro-grant program. These grants enable businesses to implement practices or technologies that contribute to a circular food economy. In addition to the grants, participating companies are eligible to receive up to 30 hours of expert advice, potentially up to $10,000 in interest-free loans. One of our collaborators is also providing 8 enterprises with direct assessment and consulting services for regional food businesses. This will help them increase efficiency, circularity, and profits while reducing operating costs and waste. This work supports Our Purpose Micro, a 12-week virtual program with weekly 2-hour intensive sessions. As part of Our Food Future, this program is being offered free of charge for up to 50 small food and beverage businesses based in Guelph, Wellington. We also funded the creation of an online sales channel for farmers market vendors who were unable to connect with customers due to COVID restrictions. And while those restrictions have lifted, we'll continue to use and promote this site for the community. We also worked with our collaborators to launch a last mile distribution and delivery project. This is an online market experience and an innovative new food delivery system in Guelph. Residents can order food and grocery items and have them delivered to their doorsteps by zero-emission electric bikes. This is just some of the work that's happening right now in Guelph, Wellington to support the immediate needs of residents and businesses. To date, we've injected over $780,000 of cash into our community, $1.2 million in cash and in-kind donations, and leveraged an additional $1.5 million in public and private donations for these programs, which provide healthy meals to those who need them, and new business channels to help our community recover economically and socially from COVID-19. And while we've been focused on meeting our community's most immediate needs during this global pandemic, we have not forgotten or strayed from our original Smart Cities program goal: increase in access to affordable, nutritious food by 50%, creating 50 new circular businesses and collaborations, and increasing economic value by unlocking the value of waste by 50%. 50 by 50 by 50 by 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cathy, for your presentation. We have a question from the public. As a rural agricultural city, why food security is an important focus for the city of Guelph?
Why is it an important?
Yes.
Why is it? Food security is an important issue for all of our country, to be honest, and all of the world. And one of the things that that I want to point out from Natalie's presentation and my presentation is that part of the joy of the Smart Cities Challenge was to talk about programs that could be replicated across the country. And so by creating Canada's first circular economy within the City of Guelph and Wellington County, we're working with communities around the country and around the globe to develop replicable systems that they can put in place. Because we're not planning to keep our learning. It's just that we are a perfect petri-sized dish to innovate and to learn and to grow. And these system changes need to happen globally and certainly internationally and nationally. And we're happy to share those experiences as we move forward.
And last question that we have is, who can participate in the Grow Back Better program? Is it only businesses or a small group of people that are not registered can participate too?
Oh, that's a great question. So we have an enormous group of interested people who are participating through our governance structure that has work streams and program delivery tables, etc. And we've recently launched an engagement platform called Kitchen Table, which is fitting with our food future. So by all means, you can go on to Kitchen Table and have your say on a variety of matters. And I spoke about the infrastructure, the urban agriculture plan, the challenge that we launched recently. And on the kitchen table are the actual finalists for that piece of work, our mini challenge compared to the mega challenge of smart cities. And people can go and vote on projects that they think are really innovative and help us in deciding how do we implement urban agriculture in our community.
Thank you, Cathy. I have some questions, if I may.
Of course.
One of your biggest challenge was the pandemic, and you had to be very agile. So did the experience change for the businesses that applied into your program?
Again, a great question. So clearly the pandemic has affected everybody. And we knew, while we have 9 projects that are associated with our food future, and we are fully implementing those, we needed to do something quickly. And so those grants that we provided to some of the businesses, we've heard back, and we'll be telling stories as they launch further, that it's the best money they've ever had because it provides them with on the ground help as they try and pivot, and not only pivot for what they need to because of COVID, but obviously and also to pivot to become more circular, because the concept of circularity is fairly new in North America. In Europe, people understand circularity, but here we tend to have a more linear system. So the opportunity for businesses to learn about why it's so important to become circular and what it will do for their business and their business propositions has been something that's really been important to us and part of our education and training. And the pivot that we had to do for Grow Back Better, or for our 10-point recovery plan, gave immediate access to some funding for businesses to help them become more circular in this difficult time.
Thank you very much, Cathy. If people have more questions, where they can reach you, do you have a Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram?
I laughed about that because Natalie's clearly more technological than I am. No, I don't have LinkedIn or Twitter, but happy to be reached through email. And as I said, our food future on I believe on that last slide had our web address, and Kitchen Table is our engagement site. But by all means, happy to answer any questions going forward. So thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to this audience.
Thank you very much.